Hey my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, life is too important to be taken seriously, so lighten up, folks. Okay, so today's topic is, can you guess? Story time, happy Halloween, yay! So you know when I do these story time videos, I always say my favorite, whatever it is. So this is my second story time Halloween. So then I'm thinking, okay, well my first favorite was back in the 90s, Suzanne Barsh's Halloween party at Palladium, which was a lot of fun. That was a fun story. Check that out if you haven't seen it. So I'm like, well, how do I top that? Then it occurred to me, my second favorite is the fact that as someone who's done drag, which has been for 35 years, it's funny how every Halloween, like what I would always do is just like dress in drag and of course, you know, make it a little more costumey so that it was more Halloween-y. But the bottom line is it was still like, you know, not anything really out of the ordinary because I was always in drag every minute anyway. So, excuse me, because of that, I thought to myself, oh, I remember 20 years ago, 2002, my best friend, Bunnies, hey Bunnies, who lives in Denver, we had just met back then and we were like visiting each other back and forth from there to New York. And that particular Halloween, which would have been probably around 2003 or so, I was there and he loves Halloween, as do I. So we went to this Halloween party. So but I didn't want to go in drag because I was like, I want to do something different. So he went as like some Roman gladiator and I went as Cupid. So like I even like made the outfit. I bought like white satin and like kind of sewed it all together and had the like, you know, the headband and all of that stuff, the bow and arrow, the wings. It was so much fun. And it was especially fun because it was out of the ordinary for me. So I don't have pictures of that, but that particular year, like the outfit when I made it, it went down to like mid-thigh. And let's keep it real, honey. I like my stuff a little shorter. So fast forward, about 2010, I had been going to Fort Lauderdale. So in Wilton Manors, where I always stayed, they have, for their Halloween, they call Wilton Manors Wicked Manor. And they have this whole like, you know, big parade and people in costumes. And, you know, you're just going up and down a Wilton Drive and it's closed for traffic and it was so much fun. So I recreated that outfit, but what I did that time around was I cut the skirt part of it so short, girl, and I had my jock strap on, so you know, I was showing a lot. I say my skirt was so short, I looked like a crack dealer. So actually that I do have pictures of, and I went to that event with my other friend, John, hey Johnny Pie, and he went as like, what's his, King Leonidas from the 300. Anyway, I have pictures of that, check it out. And that night was so much fun. So, but then I was like, okay, anytime I would like go for Halloween in drag, it was always about looking pretty. And then even when I did the Cupid, those two isolated times I wasn't in drag, it was about looking like a cute boy. So then I was like, well, what can I do? I still wanted to do something different. So fast forward about 2013 or so, my niece, hey Miss Edie, she was working on this independent film, Zombie something with zombies. And it was, they were having a fundraiser and it was right like at Halloween. So for this fundraiser, because it was a zombie thing, me and two of my best friends, me lovely daughter Cappy, hey girl, and Ilsa Pie, she's now in LA, hey, we decided to go and we went dressed as zombies. So now, listen, for me, I was like, I've never done zombie makeup. I've never tried looking like a zombie. So I took that same Cupid outfit, minus the wings and the bow and arrow, because I don't even know what happened to that. But, you know, I had like the Roman headband. So I ended up calling myself Caligula Zombie. So what was so much fun for me with that was it was the first time that I did something costumey where I wasn't trying to look pretty. Because let's keep it real, how many zombies you know are pretty? I mean, the bitches are dead. If you a corpse, how pretty can you be, right? So I remember being in my apartment and like I put on my base and then I was like, shit, now what do I do? And I just sort of like, I had gone to like Walgreens and bought all this like Halloween makeup. So, black and orange and all these different colors. And then I just started visualizing, well, if I were a zombie, what would I look like? And then I just started throwing shit on my face. And as I was doing it, I was like, oh my God, this is like a lot of fun because I was obviously making myself look as hideous as possible. But I did put like a little glitter and whatnot just to like give it a little pizzazz. Girl, I am a queen, let's keep it real. But when all was said and done, I looked horrifying and I had like the blood everywhere and I really got into the character. So the three of us went to this party and I'd say a handful of us were dressed as zombies, but then other people were just, dressed in like costumey things that weren't necessarily zombies. But I have to admit, we looked pretty good. And the most important thing was it was so out of my element to purposely make myself look anything other than pretty or cute. And I looked kind of horrible. And I think the best part was when we were there that night, I'm going back like 10 years ago. So smartphones weren't even in existence. I had my digital camera. So as people were taking pictures of us, like anyone who would be behind the camera, they would like look in the lens and start laughing. And then I would like break character because there we are all like, trying to look like zombies and all dead. And I'd be like, bitch, stop laughing. And they're like, but it's funny. And then when I in turn was taking pictures of other people, I totally got it because to see how scary yet funny everyone looked, it was rather brilliant. So for me, that was the best part of that night, was just the reaction that we were all getting, looking at one another, especially through the lens. And then anyone who took the picture, you couldn't just take the picture because you would look and you would just lose it. And they'd be like, okay, here, wait, let me do it again. So I do actually have pictures of that. So at the end of this video, make sure you stick around because you're going to see about 6, 7 pictures and you'll see what I'm talking about. So moral of the story is, make yourself go outside of your comfort level. And if you dress in drag like I have for 35 years, then to my fellow performers, female impersonators, like for Halloween, do you just like up the game, like still be in drag but make it more costumey or more maybe scary? Or do you go outside of that? Because like in my case, I always would just up the game in drag, but it was beautiful and fun and wonderful for me to like not be in drag and do something completely different that had nothing to do with it. And in particular, the zombie thing, where suddenly I'm like, girl, I look a mess. So if you've experienced that, leave your comments or, because I know a lot of people who don't dress in drag, but for Halloween will dress in drag because that's something that they don't ordinarily do. So, and then of course today I'm my little sailor because listen, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, but my ultimate all-time favorite holiday is Fleet Week. I don't know if that's actually a holiday, but I think it should be because who don't love a sailor, right? I know I do. So, all right, leave your comments. Don't forget, give your thumbs up. Look at the pictures at the end of this. And as always, I'm glad that you guys are here with me and be safe this Halloween. You're watching this on Friday the 28th. Halloween is in a few days. Just whatever you decide to wear, have fun with it and push yourself. Do something out of the ordinary because you know what? RuPaul always says when you're born, you're naked. Anything that you put on is drag. So either way, we're all drag queens when you think of it. All right. Love you. Thank you for being here. And I will see you soon. Stay safe. Thumbs up.